to be here. Thank you both so much. Thank you everyone who is here to join my heart. Level up to scale up. I love the name of this summit because I feel that every day in life we should be leveling up. And to me, what does leveling up mean? It means growth. It means development. It means finding your circle, finding your community to help you continuously go where you know your heart's destiny is. And to speak on destiny, my mother, and which we'll hear a lot about, told me that my predicament does not determine my destiny. And that's beautiful in a parallel of leveling up, meaning where do you want to be in your world? I'd like to speak from a place of the power of choice and how the power of choice allows you to your predicament not determine your destiny. For anyone who's not familiar with me, I'd love to introduce myself and expose my heart and get real vulnerable with you today, just so in prayer that my vulnerability and my life's journey touches your heart in some way to inspire you that all things are possible. I'm Lia Valencia Key. I'm creator and founder of Valencia Key Jewelry. I'd love to say that I've gone from homeless to over 100 million homes. And I'd love to express to you, how is that possible? Well, in my world, all things are possible. I was born and raised in one of the most impoverished neighborhoods in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'd love to give a visual of what that looks like to really bring you in on my world. I was born in a neighborhood where there was violence and drugs on every corner. There's abandoned buildings, there's hopelessness. It's just a bunch of darkness in the area that I was born in. And from that moment, we went, my mother, I love to talk about my mother because I self-diagnosed her with being paralyzed with fear. But what she wasn't paralyzed with was the power of her voice to speak life into her children. There was a moment where we went from poverty to destitute. And that was when my mother broke her leg in several places and couldn't recover from that. So where I vividly remember destitute happening is my mother trying to get us home from school, and we lived in that very rough environment under someone's house in a small basement. It was like one room. And we're coming back to this place we called home, and the doors were locked. There was a padlock on the door. So at that moment, we had nothing. And I was very little young, and I remember looking up at my mother and seeing pure pain. I'd never seen pain like this before, because not only did my mother not have a place to go, my mother had no place for her children to go. And at that moment, all my mother could decide was, okay, let's just ride public transportation. And for almost 24 hours, I remember this. And I blacked a lot of pain out, but I just remember this so clear. For 24 hours, just riding this bus, this truck back and forth, because we had nowhere to go. And my mother had no way to figure how to get us to some help. And finally, it got so late that the driver of the bus was at the end of the line, and he had to come back, and he said, ma'am, I see you haven't moved. Is there something I can help you with? And with pain riddling in my mother's eyes, she looked at this bus driver, pouring tears, and said, we have no place to go. This awesome, kind bus driver made his way to find us to a woman's homeless shelter. So if no one knows what a woman's homeless shelter is, I'd love to share a visual of that, because that is really traumatic. It's almost, if you think of a school gym, a big room with just cots on cots, where mothers have one cot and they're holding their babies, and they're crying, and there's tears, and there's moaning, and there's sorrow, because everyone in this one place has nothing. But in that sorrow, and me remembering all of the pain that I heard and all of the sorrow that I saw, my mother vividly looked in all of her children's eyes, me being one, and she looked at us directly and said, "Your predicament does not determine your destiny." That was so beautiful because I was still young, and to be honest, that seed was planted, but it wasn't understood. So we went on and we lived in this homeless shelter for a few years, and I'm only going to speak in third person one time this time, and I like to call myself little Leah in this moment because I want to take you back to when I was young, and little Leah began to soak up her environment. She started to see negativity. I start to be negative. I start to do negative things and not follow class and just not be a young lady of excellence. And I start to fail in school. My mother started to realize this, and I vividly remember this one day, and I love to say that this day was when the light was turned on in my life. I'm walking into the homeless shelter, and my mother looks at me and she says, "Leah, do you want to be a follower or do you want to be a leader?" And at that moment, I didn't understand. To put it in perspective, I was about 5th grade. So I'm young and I'm not clear on where she's going with this. And she says, "Leah, right now, you are following. You are following your environment. You are following everything you see. And guess what, Leah? You are going to be that. Or, Leah, you can lead. You can choose to lead your life. You can choose that your predicament right now doesn't determine your destiny. You can choose light. You can choose joy. Now, Leah, you choose." And she left me there, standing, and she gave me the power of choice. I get emotional because I feel like when you understand the power of choice, the light is flooded in your life. So in 5th grade, I instantly got it. That seed not only was planted, but it was watered in that very moment. I remember myself thinking as my mother walked off, wow, so wait, I have the power to choose. I don't have to be what I see. I don't have to act like what I see. You mean that I can choose my life? Instantly, I went back to school the next day and I asked my teacher for help and how do I get good grades? And I asked for after school programs that would take me out of my environment. And I chose and I chose. Not only did I just start choosing education, I was the first person and only person in my neighborhood to get out and actually get an undergraduate degree. I chose and got a master's, and I just started choosing. But what I realized was I wasn't just choosing academics. I was choosing life. I was choosing light. I was choosing joy. I was choosing to see beyond my circumstance. And I was choosing my destiny. That power of choice got so good to me. Then I decided, oh, this is real. So now I'm just going to choose where I belong. And my mother is no longer with me. She passed really early, but right before she passed, she saw this light in me. She saw my power of choice. And she stopped me one day right before she left this earth. And she said, "Wow, Leah, you are light. You have so much light and so much greatness inside of you. And I see it." And she handed me these earrings, these little sparkling earrings. And she said, "Here, Leah, wear these earrings. Wear them as a visual reminder that there is always light inside of you. There is always greatness inside of you. And you have the power to choose it. And whenever you forget, you look at these earrings and you remember it." And that was so beautiful to me, and it touched my heart so much. That's where I got the parallel and the power that these visual wearable symbols can always stir up and remind you and empower you of the greatness that you have inside of you. So from that very moment, I started to sketch jewelry as these life forms of inspiration. And it was just a hobby for me. I would just do it as a memory of my mother, and how do I see the journey of life and looking at my life and what does it look like And how do I inspire the flow of life? And I just had these hand sketches of jewelry. And I started to choose my life and go and find places that I found to be joy. I got my master's in education, and I realized that I loved education, but what I really loved, because I was hand sketching and I love creativity, that my joy and my heart was in the world of arts and creating. And so I started to follow the path of creating art, and I found myself being paired with two beautiful mentors, Jamie Kern-Lima, founder of It Cosmetics, and Vicky Tsai, founder of Tatcha Skincare. And I had so many beautiful earth angels in my life, but I do like to highlight these two beautiful women because they saw my light and they just said, come with me. And they took me around the world with them as they were giving the world their greatness, giving the world their heart through the form of cosmetics and through the form of skincare. And through watching these beautiful lights, I start to see, wow, if you have something beautiful to give to the world, and if you have intention, if you have purpose, and if you have love in it, in the hands of another heart, when you gift it out to the world, it becomes life-changing for them. So now the fire was on. I'm like, oh my gosh, if my hearts and inspiration can do it, then I can do it too. And they would cheer me on, and they're like, yes, you can do it, Lia. So I chose to jump. I chose to create Valencia Key jewelry. And that choice, I'd love to take you on this journey, because I know all of us here are entrepreneurs in some form. And I'd love to encourage you to say, when you choose this thing of entrepreneurial journey, you have to do some dramatic things. And don't just choose it, I mean, choose it dramatically and go fully into it. And what I mean by that was, when I knew I wanted to bring Valencia Key jewelry to the world, I knew it had a purpose of life to it. It's just jewelry, not in the form of just jewelry, but in the form of wearable joy, wearable inspiration. So I knew I had to find out, well, what does that look like? How do I embody it? How do I create it? And there's one day I was with Jamie Kern-Lima, and I was actually in her office, and I'm like, I need to find my visual symbol that represents the gift that I want to give to the world, and in the form of my logo and in the form of my colors, and what does that look like? And I said, I feel like I have to get out the country. So Jamie said, well, go. So I want to let you know, as entrepreneurs, make radical decisions instantly. You know it in your heart to be true, then do it. So what did I do? I decided to jump on a plane to Egypt. My heart is calling me to Egypt. You know, as entrepreneurs, when you're in a business, there's society's world voice of telling you what you should do and be in business and processes of how it should be. And then there's their inner voice of why you're creating the business. And I encourage you to listen to the inner voice first and foremost. The inner voice is going to tell you where to go. And so my inner voice said, you have to get to Egypt and Morocco. So this was a Wednesday. I was a freelancer. And on Wednesday, I booked a trip for Thursday to jump on a plane to go to Egypt, because my heart was calling me there. I jumped on a plane by myself. And this journey of entrepreneurship is a community, but it's also an individual thing. So sometimes you can't wait for your business partner or your people to go with you. Sometimes you got to go on a journey alone to get to the vision you want to go to. When I landed in Egypt, I got to all of these different beautiful places, and I start to see all these lights and all of these spiritual places. And one spiritual temple I landed in, I heard a voice to say, if you're here and you said you need to be here, then I ask for you to pray for what you're here for. So I got on this holy temple floor and I asked out to the world, I call God, and when I leave this trip, please allow me to be sketching the mission and the heart of Valencia Key jewelry in the form of a logo. I got to Morocco, I start to see all of these lights, and I got to see just lights everywhere. And I walked into one of these stores, and it was breathtaking because it was brass keys from floor to ceiling. I just never saw anything like this in my life before, and I was taken aback. It was actually Chef Chouin, maybe I'm pronouncing that wrong. And it was a little store, and I found the store owner, and I asked him, "Sir, why are all these keys here?" And he said, as if I should already know, he said, "Look, the key represents the key to unlocking the lights in your life." And at that moment, my heart was flooded with the answer to my mission of Valencia Key Jewelry. Valencia is defined as brave, and key is the purpose to unlock the bravery, the light, the joy, the love, the intention, the purpose in your life. And so by the end of that trip, I was hand sketching my logo, and I had the intention of my jewelry to unlock the light and the love and beauty in hearts of every wearer, for it to be visual, wearable reminders that all things are possible. So I sketched, remember I was seeing these stars. I took the V that represents the bravery of who we are and took 4 V's and made that light, and I placed the key in the center. So whenever you wear Valencia Key jewelry, you have the key, your own key, to unlock your choices, unlock your life, unlock your joy, unlock your purpose, unlock your business. And when no one's around, when your friend's not around, when your mentor's not around, when your business partner's not around to remind you or help you or inspire you, all you have to do is just look up, look out, stretch out, touch your ears, touch your heart, and you'll have a piece of that with you as a tangible reminder. Because if my journey can go from being homeless to creating a tangible piece of jewelry, then if it's possible for me, then it's possible for you. I got my visual logo, I had my purpose and my intention, and my hand sketches were already done. Google was my life. I Googled how to take hand sketches from hand sketch to tangible jewelry. And I did that for several days, and finally I found manufacturers, and I found a relationship with a manufacturer, and I got these samples, and I just started wearing them. And through wearing them and speaking out the intention of my jewelry, I'd love to share that the power to speak your dreams into the world is one of the most beautiful things you can ever do. I'd love to add that you're not speaking your dreams into the world in expectation of others. Only speak it out to give it wings to fly. Meaning when you put it out in the atmosphere, it will radiate on hearts. You pray it up to your God, and your God will whisper in the ear of the right earth angel that will help you, but you are giving it out. And then when you put it out, it will land back to you. So I would tell everyone with no expectations, just to get it out my heart, I need my jewelry to be on QVC. I need it. And then I would explain why, because my jewelry is not just this physical piece just for visual sake. It's a mission, it's a purpose, it's a wearable reminder. It's to click into your joy, it's to unlock your passions. It's wearable, tangible results of proof that all things are possible. My words have to be shared to the world. And so I would tell everyone I know. So I used to bartend, because as an entrepreneur, we know is struggling. I'm still struggling now. I'm still a small entrepreneur. So I was bartending, and I was even telling this one gentleman at the bar, hey, he's like, can I order this? And I would say, sure. Did you know I want to be on QVC? It's just that random how much you should speak your dreams out into the world. So I wanted to go radical with speaking it out. So I spoke it out so much. About 3 years later, I get a text, and I look at the text message, and it says, Lia, QVC is having a big fine competition. You've been speaking this. It is your time. You have to apply. So I must admit, everyone, I look at the text and I'm like, oh, I know I said, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. So I put the phone down. 3 days later, I love the number 3. It is my number. 3 days later, another text comes in, totally different person. Leah, QVC is having a big fine competition. You've been talking about it. You have to do it. Almost the same exact text. I look at it and I look up and I say, God, this is you. And I know I'm not ready, but you say go for it. So I'm going to go for it in full abundance, in full victory. So I actually went full out. Like, I found a bed of yellow flowers and I had my friends tape me running my hands across the bed of yellow flowers, zooming in on the rings. I'm jumping up in joy. I did a mini QVC sale explaining how when you wear Valencia Key jewelry, when you put it on and you click in the purpose to believe, you click on the power to be rooted in greatness, you click on the love of checking into the love of your life. And I just went in full-fledged, and then I submitted it and surrendered it over to God. I told myself once I surrendered it that, God, you giving me this sign and this ability to apply means that even if it's not right now, it means it's going to happen. So I thank you in advance. Well, then they said yes to the next round. And then QVC said next to the third round. And then finally, everyone, on the last final interview, QVC said yes to getting Valencia Key as a jewelry brand on QVC. It still is literally life-changing. Do you understand? This is a young girl that was born in poverty, lived with no home, to be now presenting her wearable visual joys of unlocking your greatness to over 100 million homes. Everyone who's listening, whatever your dream is, whatever your business is, whatever you have in your heart, follow it, listen to it, choose it, do radical things for it. I'd like to share 3 things before I close with you. And I'm going to try to share my screen. Now, this is going to get scary, everyone, because I'm not techie, but we'll try it. This is what I would love to share for you. As I close with you all, I first want to say I believe in you, even though we've never met. The reason why I believe in you is because God believes in you. And if God puts something in your heart, whatever that business is, whatever that dream is, then it is possible and it will happen. You just have to choose it. There's 2 questions I want you to think about your business. And there's one intention with 3 actions in there, because you know I love a 3. The first thing, revisit your business, and I want you to ask yourself, what is my business going to give to the world? And I put in parentheses, beyond the obvious, meaning if I'm a finance company or if I'm an accountant company, right, it's obvious, I'm going to do your accounting, I'm going to do your finances. Well, what are you going to gift to the world? Maybe you're going to say, I am going to gift you financial freedom in your life. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you give your business, there's a tangible, obvious part that you have to give to the world, but it's funneled through a greater purpose. What is that greater purpose? What is that life-changing gift that you are gifting through your business? It creates your business to be unstoppable, but not just unstoppable to the world, unstoppable to you. Because as we all know, entrepreneurship is so hard. It is so hard. So when it gets really hard, what's your purpose? What's your why? I know you hear it, it's so fluffy, but what it means is, when the storms start blowing, why do you stand up again and say, I'm still going to do this business? Well, my why is, my intention is, I know that everyone has a dream and I know that it's possible for them. And all we need is tangible, wearable results and wearable proof that when we need to check in, that all we got to do is look at it and it inspires us to get back up again. My second question for you, for your business, is what does my business visually look like? How does she talk? How does he talk? How does it feel? What does that mean? I know that's so superficial in thought, but when I think of Valencia Key is yellow. Valencia Key is light. Valencia Key is joy. Valencia Key is a smile. Valencia Key walks in the room and the world radiates. Valencia Key talks in inspiration. Valencia Key speaks in motivation. Valencia Key lifts your spirits up. Valencia Key feels like a warm hug. What does that do for your business? It breathes life and identity into your business, allowing this business to become a fully living entity separate from you, and it captures customers to feel and experience that living entity. It allows you to keep going. It allows you to keep pushing. The third thing I want to share is you must walk in courage. I've been researching courage and bravery and what these two concepts are, because Valencia means brave, and it is unlocking the bravery in your life. But I also need to understand, I feel that as we unlock the bravery, courage walks in, because courage walks in spite of fear. Bravery walks through fear. So when we can grab both of those powerful emotions, and then we choose with all our heart to believe. My mother left me when I was young. I always wanted to oratorical speak. So that's another thing, that all things are possible. I'm sitting here being able to speak, glory to God, because if you believe it, she wrote in the last speech when I was young, about 6th, 7th grade. I like to give you age ranges. That's how far your life's journey will always carry with you. But her last wording in the speech that she wrote was, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. How powerful is that? If you believe in your business so much, it doesn't matter the storms. I'd love to parallel this. I did a research on bamboo trees, and this is going to sound really far off, but I travel so often. I love traveling. I travel the world, and Japan is very infamous for loving the bamboo tree, and we all know what bamboo is. So I'd encourage you to be like bamboo. And what does that mean? Bamboo is strong, but it's wise enough in the middle of a tumultuous storm to be flexible and bend. It's resilient, it's persistent, meaning when you pull that bamboo up, first it's really hard to pull it out, but when you try to deroot it, there's no possible way to deroot, because it shoots right back up in the world. So if you're like a bamboo tree, you won't break, you can't break, because you're resilient, you're strong, and you're flexible. So allow your business to have these two identities that you define for it up at the top. And then within those identities, I'd ask for you then to be flexible within that. I thank you all so very much for allowing me to share my heart with you. And I love you so, so, so very much. I'm sorry, everyone, my phone.
Oh goodness, that was so amazing.
I know. Alay, don't talk when I talk. You know, we talk at the same time. Girl. What is going on? Oh, Lia, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. And if we could just have a few more minutes, yes. We know that a couple of people have questions for you. Yes. You were so motivating and inspirational. We both know that those are two different things, and you hit on both of them, girl. Yes. So if anyone has any questions, please raise your hand so that we can get a few more minutes of time of Lia's time. We would love that. Go ahead,
questions? I'm just so honored. Thank you both so much for seeing my heart, my light. I'm privileged and honored.
Yeah, some of the things in the chat right now are that was so inspirational. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lia. Amazing. I'm speechless. People were saying that was so inspirational. lots of hashtags, like hashtag be like bamboo is going out there right now. And if you believe it, you can achieve it. Someone else wrote, Anne wrote, bravery walks through fear, that she loves that, right? So
Yeah.
people are definitely taking away what you are sharing today, and we love that. Susan Lucia says, desire, belief, and expectation. I mean, I think you definitely nailed it on that. Elaine, do you have something that you want to add?
Well, I see Anne has a
Fantastic.
question, and she asked, how did you find your mentors? That is such a great
That is a beautiful question. And this is going to sound really interesting. I don't seek out mentors, I seek out love. And so I think that's really important. Now, this is from my perspective. You know, I feel that everyone can be your mentor. You seek out people that have the same energy as you and have the same drive, passion, and love as you. So what happened for me is I knew I wanted to be creative. So I got myself through perseverance to work in the QVC salon. I didn't share that part. That's a whole hour, but I actually, it took me 5 years. My creativity of actually getting in creative field, I was actually able to become a hair and makeup artist. That's why I say be flexible. You know, have a dream, but be flexible, because within your dream, there are so many other facets that are going to get you to your dream. And we don't share that often in life. You say, find your business, that's your only business, and focus on that. And I think that it makes us limited and we can break easily. So within my creativity, I was blessed to, it took me 5 years to get hired to work for QVC Salon, but working in the QVC Salon, I was surrounded by loving women and people that were going after dreams. And through me styling and having a heart of love and having a heart of joy, I want to say that it's not your skill, it is not your talent, it is your heart. That's how you find mentorship. You lead right here and you become the person that you want to see and be around. And then when you are that, you attract that. And it sounds so cheesy, but it's so real. Like if you walk in a room and you are smiling and you are happy, and when live TV, things happen and they happen quick and they happen challenging. And so you have an option. You can make it chaotic or you can make it like, okay, let's do it. Let's get it. No worries. Let's switch this face up, do this hair. You got it. Go get it. Right. And that's that energy. And so then when people feel that energy, they're like, ooh, I like that. And then you become friends through heart. And then through friends through heart becomes mentorship through life.
Love that. I love that. Love that. Love that. I have a question, if that's okay. Yes. I would love to know what kind of struggles or challenges did you have to overcome through this journey of doing this really big thing, right? Like what were some of the things that you just had to overcome?
So not had to, still having to.
Okay, not there yet.
That's valid. That's valid.
I want to be really real. Like, you know, you walk in life great, but I'm still small and I'm still a small business and it's me and one other person, Carlin, who's my heart and my life that's helping me. It's us out here and some of my friends that kick in and help. But the challenge is one real challenge that I'm always over having. So when I want to tell you about challenges, some challenges you'll never completely overcome. You're always overcoming them. And so I would love to settle that in your heart, like gear up to keep overcoming the same challenge. And one of them is really defining who I am and not listening to what society wants me to be. And standing so strong in that, even when I don't get any orders and it's so bad that I got to check and see if my website is broke. Meaning like people are going to tell you so many things. You should do this. because everyone that's in jewelry is doing this, and you should do that because I checked out and so-and-so's doing that. And then I look at my 2 questions that I asked you all, and I'm like, oh, but that's not how she visually looks. That's not how Valencia Key jewelry talks. That's not what she's bringing to the world. So then I have to decide, do I follow or do I lead? That question again. And every time I'm going to choose to lead by what I want to give to the world, even when the numbers and society doesn't say so, I'm going to stay in it so strong. And when I stay in it, when I'm like the bamboo tree and I stay strong in it, and I may flex a little bit, because sometimes people give you ideas. I'd love to say in that, maybe you see something and you won't take the whole thing, but you're like, oh, I can grab a little nugget from that. That will make me better. And then when you stand strong in who you are, people will eventually start to listen. People will eventually start to see your light, because they'll understand that you're pure, that you're not fly by night, that you're not trying to follow a trend or be a trend. It is authentic joy. It is authentic love. And when people know that it's real, they start to come to where the realness is. But that's a continuous struggle.
Oh, I love that. So Melissa actually had a question, which is a great question. She wanted to know, how's your business doing now? And how can we support you?
Thank you. Oh my gosh. So I am honored that you asked me that. I appreciate it. My business it's going. I'm a small business. So there's ebb and flows. There's times when I'm like, oh, yay. And then there's times like, hi, anybody listening? And I keep pushing through it, because I know my gift is to get Valencia Key wearing hearts, wearing it to inspire their lives. And when I get these emails saying, like, I just got several pictures through prom this season, and it made me tear up, because so many beautiful mothers gifted their daughters Valencia Key jewelry to wear on their proms. And some of their daughters were struggling through depression. And some of their daughters were fighting children, being challenging and hard. And they said they clicked on Valencia Key and it inspired them to radiate their light. And they clicked on Valencia Key and inspired them that all things are possible, because they heard the journey and my story, and they were wearing it in honor that if I can do it as a little baby girl, they can do it too. And when I see that, then I'm like, Valencia Key is winning. So I pray the way you can help me is order Valencia Key jewelry, wear it, radiate it. My big goal, I tell you, I like to speak my dreams out in the world. My big dream is that so many of these loving hearts like you all are wearing Valencia Key jewelry, that I can create. I just created a nonprofit called Key to Light. And my vision for Key to Light is to create a trade school that empowers and educates underserved individuals to have a trade to unlock their potential and unlock their light. And the only way I'll be able to get there is through people ordering and wearing Valencia Key jewelry, because it takes funding. Of course, you get grants, but you have to start off with funding to pay for a curriculum, pay for a grant writer, pay for all these different things to even start trying to get to touch people's hearts. But I know it's going to be possible, and I know it's going to be true, and I know hearts like you all we're going to create this community where not only are we shining and radiating our light as entrepreneurs, but we're bringing other people along with us to let them know that it's possible. And I'm excited.
Oh my goodness, we are excited as well. And Lia, for everyone who is attending today, is giving everyone, she's being so generous, a 25% off discount. Yes. So you can sign up with valenciakey.com business summit, and we will put the link in the chat as well. So thank you for that.
Thank
Lia.
you. And in that link page, I felt like if you click that link, you'll put in your email. And when you put in your email, you'll get the 25% off. But I also created 5 steps to handling fear to get to your success. So you'll also receive my 5 steps on how I actually work through fear to get to where I'm going.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Elaine?
all.
Oh my gosh. So Doris asked if you are still showing on QVC.
I prayerfully, I should have an earring coming soon, and I'm excited about it.
A new earring?
Yeah, I'm praying that we get this line going, and we don't have an air date yet, but it's coming. It's in the works, and I'm grateful. So if for all my praying people, keep praying for me and praying for my success on QVC as well. I think prayer is life changing. So please, I love and receive and grateful for all your prayers. And I'll be praying for all of you as well for all of your entrepreneurship journeys.
Yulin says she loves the synergy necklace.
Oh, I'm wearing it now. That's my favorite. This is my baby. This is where it started. It defines the ebb and flows of life, and that life is a journey. There's ups and downs, but if you continuously keep going, you will get to your sparkle. And we have to be balanced in synergy as we do it. That's why I believe in love, joy, and peace. Those three things define our balance in our heart. I do have a check bracelet that says each of those words, so you check back into that, because sometimes, right, the world gets chaotic. I know I do. I get anxiety, pressures, emails, all these things, and I'm losing my joy, I'm losing my peace, I'm losing my love of everything. And so I got to look at my bracelet and touch my synergy heart and say, so what does love look like in this situation? I got to breathe. What does peace feel like in this situation? Where do I find my joy? Why did I start this? Where is joy in this situation? So I can reset to the principles of where I'm rooted in, so that I can always give this gift of life to everyone. And those are the intentions of how we wear Valencia Key jewelry.
That is so powerful. I love being able to have something that's wearable that is kind of like that reminder, right? Of yes, there's a bracelet that I have that was given to us through Polka Dot, and it says, because I said I would. And when I am feeling like, I don't want to, I'm procrastinating, but I need to do it, I put the bracelet on, and it's like that reminder that, like, oh yeah, I said I was going to do that. So I need to do it. I need to show up. You know, it's hard. It's hard. Like you're saying, being a business owner is hard. If it was easy, everybody
would do it. I have a believe bracelet that has believe check on it. Like, cause you've got to believe in all of this stuff we're saying, you've got to believe. And that's why I love my believe bracelet, because it reminds you, sometimes you start not believing it. Sometimes you start to doubt in your own brain. It's not what people are telling you. You start to tell yourself, is this what you really want to do? Is it really going to be possible? And then you reach that hand and you're like, believe it to be true. Believe. And then that's how you kick back in, because you said you would.
That's right. Yeah. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to.
No one else can.
Yeah.
And so good. And Mary Kay says, you know, now that the world is opening up, where is your next trip going to be for inspiration or
exciting? Okay, so seriously, I'm only sharing this with you all. I'm gonna go to Ghana, Africa.
Gosh, that is so exciting. What do you plan on doing there?
Oh, we're coming back with something. We're gonna touch a community. And I have 3 dreams when I get there. One is to dance in the streets. I just love African dance, and I want to get some community people, and I just want to dance. That's one. And then I want to go to all the markets and fairs, and I'm going to find some local community of women that are creating a wearable craft, and I am going to bring it back to you all, and we are going to touch Ghana in some way, for us to give something back to Ghana in that special way. And prayerfully, we can continuously keep that going. So we're supporting Ghana in that way. And then 2, I want to find a holy place to pray for you all and for Valencia Key Jewelry. If I do those 3 things, I am great.
Oh, we love that.
Oh my gosh,
we love that.
Sounds amazing.
That is going to be an amazing trip for you all.
When are you going?
Ooh, in a week or so.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait to travel again, right? I know Paige is itching to travel again.
Oh.
She's missing Paris
Oh,
so much.
Paris is wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
It's opening back up June 9th. Everything will be open for US citizens who are fully vaccinated.
Yes,
So yeah,
I'm fully vaccinated.
yeah. So I will, Europe is opening up in general. So so folks who are interested in going back to Europe, they are opening back up with some provisions. Yeah, June 9th. With some provisions, but yes, I'm itching, girl. Oh,
you
out of
gotta
control.
go. I feel it's so beautiful getting other culture. I feel greatness happens when you can be exposed to the world, because you bring a worldly love. You don't bring a local love, you bring a worldly love, and that's a whole different love.
Love that. Love that. I love Laura dropped something in the chat that's really great. She says those messages from our inner voice are usually just trying to push forward into our awareness, a hugely beneficial message to move us forward.
Yes.
I think that is so true. Like,
True.
If anybody here knows Nicole Lewis Keeber, the itty bitty shitty committee is what she calls it, right? All of the little inner mean voices that are giving you self-doubt. Yesterday I was filled with it. I was telling everybody earlier this morning that I was just having all kinds of feelings about today. I was so worried that nobody was going to show up. I was just having all the feelings, and I had to make the conscious choice.
Yes,
that I would celebrate those who show up. Right? Those that are meant to be here are meant to be here. And I'm just going to embrace it and love on them and celebrate them instead of worrying about, you didn't show up. Like,
can we talk about that for a minute? That's really powerful for business owners, right? And entrepreneurs. A lot of the anxiety comes from this external expectation of a grander want, right? So yes, you want a lot of people to show up. Yes, I want a lot of people to buy Valencia Key jewelry, but we get anxiety and pain, and we lose our peace and our joy because we can't control that. This is what I want to speak about. All you can do is show up purely for who you are and what you are giving to the world. That's why I gave you those 2 questions. And you intently are working on that. You are intently crafting that greatness of what you're giving. And then let God do the rest. And then when the numbers don't prove to be, everyone wants a targeted number. I get it, we should. But when the target number doesn't prove up to where your standards are, look at the numbers that did happen and look at the lives you are blessing. Because when you bless one life, you've changed a generation.
Yes.
You're winning regardless. And if we stay in a winning regardless mindset, we can release the number concept. I always am coaching myself out of that. I don't care how many numbers, they will come. They will come because I have greatness to give to the world, and I have a life-changing messages for hearts, but it will take time for it to come. But whoever's here now, like you said, that's who we celebrate.
That's right.
I'm so happy about feeling that way.
Yep, I know. And it is a mindset shift for sure, and as entrepreneurs, we have to push through all the BS. We have to push through all the naysayers. And the one thing I noticed the most is that I'm the biggest naysayer. It's not anybody else out there telling me I can't do it. It's me doubting my own abilities. And the imposter syndrome and self-sabotage and all that. And
comparison. And watch out for that evil thing called comparison, everyone. There's comparisonitis. Comparison is hard. There's inspiration or there's comparison. I live in a world of being inspired. I do not and cannot live in a world to compare myself to anyone else or anything else, because you'll never be that.
That's right. So why even engage in that?
Why even engage? You can be inspired, like, oh, they got all those numbers. One day I'll get there.
Yeah.
One day. Not
How did she do
necessarily.
it? What can I learn from her so that I can
Absolutely.
duplicate her success instead of being envious of it? Right.
Absolutely. That's where joy lies.
The quote up on my wall, I have 3 that I refer to on a regular basis, and one of them says, "Be yourself, everyone else is already taken."
Absolutely.
Right? Just be yourself, everyone else is already taken. You don't have to try to be like her, you don't have to be like him. You just be you, because that's all you need, because we already have them.
We have them. And they can give you nuggets. That's why I say shine so bright that you inspire others to shine with you. Meaning, when you're wearing Valencia Key jewelry, you're choosing to radiate your own light. And then someone's going to see a little bit of your light and take a piece of that to place in their heart so that they can shine. But you're not doing their shine, you're just being inspired to. And it is great to find little treats and tricks from other people, but never to be like them, or never to try to stand up to who they are. And when we start walking in that, then we start walking in joy.
Yes. Laura, again, with the nuggets. We love Laura and all of her nuggets. She says,
we love Laura.
Yes. Do we need to have a deep impact or a wide impact? Deep does not have to be lots and lots.
Yes.
Right? So deep impact is like really getting to the hearts of people, and wide is affecting the masses.
Yeah.
Being able to impact a small group of people, because if you do that, then guess what happens? They spread that message out to their communities as well.
They do. And you know what? Deep eventually becomes wide. There's no way that deep can't spread wide. Deep may take longer to grow because you're really grabbing hearts. But eventually, when you're really doing goodness, it begins to spread over time. And so just let God do the time thing and you do the deep thing.
Yeah.
Right?
I love that. You do the deep thing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
I know. Don't say what I say.
I know. We do that all the time.
I'm just going to let you go. You go. Okay. I love you, Lia. I'm going to let her talk.
I love you both so much. Thank you.
Gosh. Lia, you are just, since the first time I saw you, I was sharing with everyone how I even discovered you, because I'd never heard of you. And I just happened to get the Facebook ad in my feed that there was this big event. I never even heard of Jamie. I didn't.
Wow.
The page was like, what?
Wow.
But I was like, okay, yeah, I'll hop in. And I heard your talk, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I love her. You were giving me all the goosebumps, and then when you were like, telling Jamie you were open to other speaking, and I was like, should I? Oh my God, what if, and then I was like, what's the worst that could happen? She could say no. That's the worst that could happen. And then you were like, yes. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing, right? So have you had other opportunities?
So many. God is so good. Let's celebrate Jamie, the love of my life, angel in my heart. I'm blessed to have so many beautiful earth angels that believe in me. The one thing is to believe in yourself, and there's some beauty when others believe in you. It just becomes magical, life-changing. So through that wonderful opportunity where I was on stage with life-changing individuals, Jamie being one of them, I've had so many beautiful opportunities come in and keep coming in. So I pray, the mission is just to keep spreading. We need this.
Yeah.
It's not about me. It's not about me truly telling my story. I know that God had me to have this journey so that I can share it, so that people can hear it, so that people can keep pushing and they know that it's possible, because we are humans and we need tangible visual results. People could tell me anything like, yeah, you can do it. What? How? Why? Here's how you can do it, because this is where it came from. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going through. And these are the results that I'm doing. And then when you get to see those tangible and you get to wear those results, then you're human. You're like, well, if she has 2 arms, 2 eyes, a leg, and a breast, I could do it too. We're the same. And then you get to kick into yours because you see I can kick into mine. And so I know that's why God has me on this journey, just to be visual human proof that whatever God has for you, let's go for it because it's possible. I'm honored.
Love. Oh my gosh. I just want to thank you so much for being open to come and speak at our little baby event. But
no, it's not baby. It's big and it's awesome.
Well, it's a newborn because it's our first one, right?
Oh, well, she's a baby. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm honored to be with your baby.
Yes, this is our baby. This is our first like big event that we decided to do together. And so yes.
That's beautiful. You both said yes. I love to leave with one of my lives, how I've been able to do different things and beautiful things is by just saying yes and figuring the rest out. Just say yes. When God shows you something, just say yes to it. I think Tony Robbins says say yes, and I love Nike, just do it. Say yes. You don't have to have the answers. If you say yes, you're going to find the answers. I promise you.
Yes.
You're not going to let yourself or anybody else down. So don't get into can I, will I never, all of these questionable things. They can run in your brain because then you'll just start to be checklists on what you need to figure out later. But your instant answer is yes. And then you figure out the checklist later. And I promise you, your world will change.
Yes. I love hearing about people that talk about, they manifest the circumstances. They're saying, I want this to happen. This is my goal, whatever. And then things will start to come their way and they'll say no because, right? And I'm like,
because you're not ready. You're not ready.
Yes. It's like you have to say yes.
You are. You're never really ready. So just say yes.
Exactly. I know if a lot of us waited till we were ready to have children or ready,
oh gosh,
we would never do it.
Ever. Life would just be this. A whole standstill. Right.
Oh my gosh, you were just such a joy. So much love in the comments for you. Just you have inspired so many today. So just know, and they're going to take that and they're going to spread it to their people, right? And we will, what we're going to do is we're going to take this recording and we're going to put it on our podcast so that we can spread this message far and wide so that other people can hear this amazing message that you have to share because it's so important and it's so needed. And to also just share that people that they're not alone, right? Not alone. And you have gone through the fire,
and I'm still going through it.
Possible, right? You have proven that it is possible and that if you believe in yourself, anything is possible, anything can happen. So thank you so much for coming to share your message with us today. I just can't even, just so much love for you.
Thank you. I love you both and I love everyone that's sitting here and will listen to this to come. Yes. I do. Lastly, I believe in you all.
And I want to leave with this. Sarah Stokes says, pure sunshine. Thank you, Lia. This was magic and the timing, and it was so divine. Thank you so much for shining so bright.
Thank you. Thank you all. Follow me, stay with me on Instagram, and we'll stay connected. And I pray that I'll always help you be light.
Yes.
Whenever you don't feel it.
Thank you so much. I just can't. Thank you is just doesn't feel big enough.
Oh my gosh. Well, the honor and blessing is truly all mine. And anytime you need me, you got my email. Okay?
I do, girl. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Have a wonderful day, Lia.
You too.